He would just, obviously positive. This time of year, everyone's pretty pretty positive, but I just think he really loves the returners. Obviously, the returning big three, with Tristan and AK and Donovan, and then obviously the addition of Cam and what Sam looks like, Samson, and and then the potential of the freshman class, and then some of those other veteran pieces. So it looks good.
What'd you get out of today, you think?
Just to get back on the court, I think. I'd say exhibit just how hard we've been working. I mean, that was these guys were able to play 3 10-minute quarters. They looked like they were in shape. They looked like they were organized. Obviously, it wasn't necessarily the last time we played level of play, but I thought we showed, that we looked like we got 2 centers again that can be really good and potential to be a really good team.
And how valuable is it to squeeze every second out of every minute of every 10 practices this time?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of work, and if you're not, we squeeze every second that the NCAA allows us to use, and we wish we had more time because we love the work. We're all about the work. The work has put us in this position to be winners. So, and then it just felt good to get out and do something for our fans. We got the best fans, so it's just great to do something good for our fans where they can see us in the summer.
The timing of this practice, though, important, especially with all the new guys that you kind of blend in. Can you touch on that a little bit?
It was good to get some butterflies and get the butterflies experienced and play in front of fans and, kind of for the young guys to get one under their belt. And really, this was a little bit of an introduction to college basketball and to our fan base of, what we're putting on the court this year. So it's just good to get out here. Kind of the curtain's gone up, minus not having Jalen today. This would potentially be the team unless we use the last scholarship.
Just the pull muscle with him that basically he's just temporary.
Yeah, just the groin and, and just the Seattle school system there. Didn't do us any favors, just not getting him out. Graduated in time for summer one. They really worked against us. So, so he comes in late when we're working at a very high rate, gets a soft tissue injury, and now, he misses some valuable time. But he's a very instinctual player. He's a very talented offensive player. We're going to need him this year. But he misses these moments to build the toughness, to build the grit. These hard early practices really, they make a man.
Cam looks like he's just what you needed. It's pretty well.
Yeah, Cam, and just you could see with the big three, returning another big three, and then to add that piece with Tristan, so that you have those 2 guys that can, that can light it up. And Tristan now is going to have that space to play because he's got another veteran with him, there to create opportunities for him, to create space for Tristan. And just Cam doesn't make a lot of mistakes at either end of the court, and the shooting's a weapon. He could facilitate. It was perfect. The timing of it was insane.
Yeah, what could Steph be? What could Steph be?
Steph, when he gets the motor going, Steph is, it's all about motor, and he can't play in spurts, and he can't make a splash play and then kind of disappear for a couple minutes. I mean, once we get him playing every possession like it's life or death, and fully understanding his identity, and and then he gets on the court with, when he gets downhill driving the ball and he's got shooting with him with Tristan and Cam and Alex and a 7-2 finisher at the rim, or Samson. I mean, he's gonna have all the space he needs to make plays.
He's got all the tools, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see how physical he is and how athletic he is. It's just getting him, just like any freshman. It's freshmen like Alex are rare. That just like so deeply ingrained in Alex, like the mental aspect of the game. And Steph is, the mental aspect, the concentration, the focus, playing every single possession with no drop off. That's what it takes to be on a great team and to be a great player. We just got to get him there.
What can you get out of the trip, you think, coming up?
Camaraderie, obviously 3 games. With most of I mean, you get the 10 practices. I mean, we're to think about where we are relative to where we would be without the trip. The trip has been big for us to stop the celebrating and to like work hard. I mean, we've worked really hard this summer, and obviously we're still kind of, things for us to do in terms of celebrating. But every time we're not celebrating, we're grinding and we're working super hard. So this trip got us back to like hard ass practices. Like we're in season mode in a way, and I cursed up a storm over here, and I apologize to. There was like a little kid behind me, so, and a couple of women.
Samson bulk up quite a bit. Looks like he's a lot stronger.
We did. I think we identified late in the year when we started recruiting him back to the team, as other schools were recruiting him off our team through third parties or maybe just directly. We started to recruit him back to the team, and this was the vision. I think. There's obviously minutes there with Donovan, who's 7'2", and such a big player, where there's going to be like big minutes there for him, and then we could build him into the 4 spot too potentially, as he's rolling and dunking and finishing at the rim and shoots a 3 now. It's playing that 4 spot. I think is a better fit. So this gives us that 1-2 punch at center potentially. It was devastating for people last year.
Jalen's lost a lot of weight, right?
Jalen lost a lot of weight. I mean, I almost said too much weight in a way. I mean, an unbelievable effort by him before he got here, and it tells you about the kid. And now we just kind of build his body back up with the muscle, which is actually, which obviously is the best way to do it. But now we got to kind of get him stronger and get him ready for the physicality, because he's that 3-4 type of player, that 3-4 type of guy, 4-3 type of guy that he's got to play in, got to play out, got to get on the backboard. So we got to build his body back up.
Dan, how does Cam fit into the culture that you've created? His work ethic, the number of shots he gets up.
Perfectly, Cam fits in perfectly from a competitive standpoint. I mean, this is a program that's built on sick competitors from the patriarch. I don't know if he's still here, but I mean that's how this thing was set up for success, and that's what we all stand for. And he's a great competitor. To play for me, you have to love the game as close to as much as I love it, or else the relationship's going to start to splinter. And he loves it as much as any of us love it. So, I mean, it's a perfect fit from a skill set. I mean, he fits perfectly with Tristan, and then he fits perfectly with culture, and he fits perfectly with how we play.
Dan, swing back to Steph real quick. I mean, when you come here, you have to be coachable. Well, how coachable of a kid is he for all the success he's had?
Well, it starts with his parents at home, and you have no shot unless you got the folks at home, the inner circle. So with Stacy and Quan at home, they're gonna echo anything that we're saying here, because they're parents, not his necessarily his like fan club. So the stuff that Steph has got to learn to do is exactly why they sent him to UConn, is for us to get it out of him so he could reach his ultimate potential. So, the messaging from the offices to at home is going to be the same with Steph, and that's why Steph is going to have great success.
Is that typically a challenge with most freshmen, because so many things come easy to them in high school and they don't understand?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the support at home, the support of the high school coach, if you don't have somebody echoing that message, it's going to go bad, and it's going to go bad quickly. And it's gone bad at times here with young players that have either left or haven't panned out because the message wasn't echoed. The easiest thing to hand out is minutes, playing time, and who should be getting the ball.
Yeah.
How did you re-recruit Samson? Like, what goes into that? It's a whole different world.
It was February, and you could see, that the vultures were circling. I mean, we could see it with Naheem too, and different players, with just body language or the circumstances of their situation. And then you hear the rumblings of the schools that are talking to the different players. So, I mean, at that point, you could choose to ignore it and deal with it when the season's over, or you could be proactive. And with Samson, we started to have meetings after film sessions, and saying that you'd be making a big mistake if you leave, and calling his AAU coach and reaching out to the people at home. It was truly a please stay. Minutes are going to open up in the front court. Adama's going to leave. Andre's played some 4. There's going to be a chance for you. If you're good enough, stay. If you're not good enough, run. And he chose to stay.
Is there another level that you expect Donovan to get to this year?
Yes, I mean, today was probably not. Today was some concepts in transition and some 5-out things that we're working on. We haven't really even implemented a lot of our high-low game that, as he's setting up shop at the front of the rim, ducking in as a 7-2 target, what that's going to do to the other team's defense. So, yeah, I mean, we're expecting him to be one of the best centers in the country and to do what he did last year. His conditioning, I think, is really good. He looks good. We just need him to play 27 minutes a game, 26, 27, 30 minutes a game, 24, whatever it is, at the level he played 14.
Does anyone work harder than Alex?
Um,
I don't want you to stick anybody out, but everyone says how he's in the
No,
gym.
he
Seems
lives
like
in
more
there.
than everybody.
He's in there. I mean, that's our culture, and that was Christian Vital. Passing that off to R.J. Cole and Isaiah Ware. I mean, we've had some gym rats, and I think Andre and Adama took that thing to another level, and then Jordan. I mean, just our culture right now is gym rats, and that's how our organization moves. And if you can't move like that, you'll get unhappy quickly here and you'll leave, or you'll never want to come.
Alex talked about kind of growing into a more vocal leader, being pushed maybe out of his comfort zone. What have you seen from him, and what do you need from him in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to stop suggesting things for people to do and tell them what to do. I think he's still trying to find his voice as a leader, in the way he wants to deliver it. But yeah, I mean, Adama by example set an incredible leadership standard, and then Andre from an example and a vocal standpoint. Andre just knew when to get on his teammates and when to uplift his teammates, and when to take the guys to hibachi, and when to just scream at guys and let it. I mean, just there's an art to it, and him and Tristan and Donovan, and then eventually Cam are going to have to figure that out. They got to lead this team.
You excited for Europe?
I'm excited, just the bonding aspect of it. I'm a homebody. If I'm gone from Connecticut long, I don't love long trips unless it's happening in March or April. I love some of those extended stays in Vegas and Houston. I'll stay forever. But just the chance to just, because a lot of the summer, like we've been like squeezing in practice and then heading out on the road recruiting. And so we've been pulled in a lot of directions. And then when we're not doing that, we're making an appearance, or we're going to a Giants practice to try to learn as coaches too. So it'd be nice just to get with the boys and to have lunch and just talk and really put that chemistry together with the group. Would be nice. And sightsee too.
Have you talked with Coach Calhoun about what those trips are like?
I've been on them. I was on them at Rhode Island. I'm just going there just to be. Obviously, you travel around the world, and we're the reigning NCAA champions. So I don't know how many people will be at our games. I don't really know how this is going to play out, but I just know as the reigning NCAA champion, when we show up to play, there should be some level of quality to what we bring. Obviously, this is a new team, but. And then I just want to make the trip enjoyable for everybody, because I'm an intense personality, so I've got to find a way when I get on that long flight to dial it back so it's an enjoyable experience for everybody. Phil, Shardis in particular, making it his last trip, last journey, last ride for Phil off into the sunset.
Will he make it back? That's the question.
I don't know. He could end up in a bullfight and we lose him at a bullfight or something. He's drinking a sangria. I don't know. And then Phil disappears on us.
And how will you run those games? Will you just try to play as many people as you can in different combinations?
Yeah, I think so. I think definitely. I think we're still kind of trying to figure out that part of it. Do we sit a player or two per game and just try to get guys? It's definitely going to be a spread out the minutes type of situation, and and kind of just. I think it's definitely a bonding trip, and then when it's time to play, we got to be ready to play.